Speed kills. That was the key ingredient that allowed the Oregon Ducks to dominate college football in the early 2010s. Their offense changed the way the sport was played, and college football has not looked back since. This was all spearheaded by the mad scientist himself, Chip Kelly. I have recreated this offense in Madden 22, and I promise you, you will not have more fun playing offense this year than running this breakneck, innovative, explosive scheme. During his time at Oregon, Kelly was able to transform the Ducks into a national powerhouse and into one of the most iconic offenses of all time. They were able to reach a national championship, win a Rose Bowl, and win a Fiesta Bowl. Over those 3 championship level seasons, the Ducks were able to put up some absolutely gaudy stats. They averaged 229 yards passing, 300 yards rushing, and 48 points per game. But where this offense really starts to get interesting is when you look at its run-pass splits. They averaged 48 rush attempts per game and only 29 passes. This is one of the things that really set the Ducks apart. They were spread to run, not spread to air the ball out. And we are really going to attack our opponent in the same way. They also played at an incredible speed, never huddling and trying to snap the ball in between plays as quickly as possible. This really allowed this record-setting offense to score at a pace that was shocking to the rest of the college football world. Now, for our offense in Madden, we are really going to base it around some of the key principles Kelly brought to his Oregon offense. The first and probably most important thing we need for this scheme is speed. We want explosive athletes all over the field. The next aspect we want to add is space. We want to create space for ourselves by spreading the offense out. This in turn is going to force the defense to spread out to match us. Now, this is going to give our fast, explosive playmakers more room to operate. This also really forces the defense to simplify what they are doing on the back end. Kelly really preaches that the more players the offense puts in the box, the defense is able to respond accordingly. And this really muddies up the middle of the field. This whole offense is built on having less defenders in the box, allowing us to have a numbers advantage and gash in the run game. Then when the defense responds by loading the box, we can hit the perimeter with our playmakers and take a vertical shot. The next key, and what Kelly was probably most famous for, was using pace, hurry up, or a no huddle offense. Now, running a no huddle offense puts a ton of pressure on our opponent and really limits the variation and creativity they can bring to the table. Oregon employed this to give their opponent no time to think about the next play and just to never feel comfortable, and I think we can really employ that same strategy in Madden. This offense is also going to put a premium on motion and deception. These are things Kelly would constantly add to his offense. And we're going to have a ton of variations off of these motions. This is really going to help disguise what we are calling and confuse our opponent. And this is going to include a ton of RPOs and package plays. So for this offense, we are going to be running out of the spread playbook. And if you are playing MUT, it is called pass balance. Now, I am going to be doing a ton in this offense, and I'm going to be spending the better part of the next month in it. Now, most of what we run is really going to be based on the Oregon offense, but I'm going to be adding in a few things that are really going to help make this scheme more effective in Madden, especially in the passing game. Now, I'm going to be putting out a ton of videos on my main channel for this scheme, but I'm also going to be going way more in depth and showing you how to make this offense completely unique and an insanely fun way to play on my membership page. So I've just released the first mini scheme out of this Oregon offense. It is going to be live on my membership page now. It is going to be a pistol offense that is going to use a ton of the wide zone elements from the last offense I just released. So it'll be a really good way to ease yourself into this spread playbook. So it is going to be a 5-play mini scheme. It is up right now. And if you guys want to see that offense and really just stay up to date with all the extra content that will be up on the membership page, definitely should check that out. I will leave a link to my membership page down in the description. I'm also going to leave some links in the description to some articles I used and a book I bought to really research for this offense. If you guys want to do some reading up on your own and really get your study on for this scheme. Okay, so let's get into the offensive sets that we are going to be focusing on for this Oregon scheme. So to start, we are going to be looking at our 3 spread sets in this playbook. They are really going to be the base for this offense and do a great job of spreading our opponent out, not letting them load the box. And this is also where we are going to base a ton of our no huddle offense. And I've really developed this no huddle offense to be incredibly tough to stop. We will also be looking at the double sets. Now this will give us 4 different formations we can look at. And once again, we are gonna spread the D out, but in this set, we're relying a ton more on motion across the field, motioning different players to really give us some unique looks and put a ton of pressure on the defense. Now, both the spread and doubles variations of our offense are gonna be run with the same personnel grouping. That is gonna be our base 11 personnel. So what that means is we're gonna have 1 tight end, 1 running back, and 3 wide receivers. We will also be adding a wing element to this formation. That is gonna be a double tight look on one side of the field, and we're gonna be looking at pistol ace. That is the scheme I just posted on the membership page. Now, these are gonna be much heavier sets with that double tight end look and really give us a power element to this offense. And both these sets are going to be utilizing 12 personnel. So that is going to be 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and 2 wide receivers. Then the last sets we're going to look at are our gun split back looks. So these are actually going to be 20 personnel. So that is 2 running backs, 0 tight ends, and 3 wide receivers. Now with these sets, we are going to be using a ton of motion out of the backfield to give us some really dangerous RPOs. And really this is going to let us attack the perimeter of the defense with a ton of speed. So these are going to be the sets I am starting with, but if there is anything you guys think I should add, leave that down in the comments section below. Okay, now let's take a look at our personnel and we're gonna go over our 3 main stars of this offense. The first is gonna be our QB, and he must have speed and be dangerous in the read option game. So the QB who had the most success in this offense was Marcus Mariota. He was incredibly dangerous with his legs, and when people started to overplay to the run, he could also make you pay with his arm, and he really helped this Oregon offense reach to the pinnacle of its success. Now the perfect parallel to this player in MUT is gonna be Michael Vick. He is really an absolute terror on O, as we all know, and is the perfect scheme fit for this offense. Now for abilities on Vick, I'm using set feet, lead, and recuperation. This is gonna allow him to have more zip on the football when we are throwing and recover his stamina faster when we run with the football. The next star of this offense is gonna be our tailback. Now this is gonna be a heavy run offense. He is gonna get the ball a ton, and we're gonna throw the ball to him a lot in the passing game. Now the running back who had the most success in this Oregon offense was LaMichael James. He was a great athlete who had tremendous speed and really just put pressure on the defense whenever he touched the ball. Now for this offense, I am using Alvin Kamara. He really accomplishes everything we are gonna need. He can run between the tackles on our inside zone. He has speed to attack the perimeter, and he has great hands when catching the football. Then abilities wise, I am using jukebox on him. This is just gonna make him more dangerous when he has the football out in space, and just gonna make opponents look like fools when they try to tackle him. And then our third star on this offense is gonna be our slot receiver. Now this is gonna be our main bubble screen guy and jet sweep player, and we are gonna feed him the rock a ton. The player who excelled the most in this role at Oregon was DeAnthony Thomas. Now he was an incredible athlete who could take the ball to the house at any moment. The Ducks would line him up all over the field and manufacture ways to get him the ball in space whenever they could. The player we are going to be using in this spot is Tyreek Hill. He has the speed to make you scared whenever he touches the football, and he can make anybody miss in the open field. We are also throwing jukebox on him to once again just make him even more dangerous in space. Now the rest of our personnel is important, but if you nail this top 3, you are going to be in a great spot. So our first outside receiver, I really wanted a route runner who we know is going to dominate against man coverage and really just separate against anyone. So I'm using Jerry Rice in this spot, and I have the route tech ability on this player. This is just really going to allow him to get basically automatic separation against man coverage. And then our other outside wide receiver, I really wanted that classic ball winner. We want big, fast, and physical, someone who can dominate at the catch point and who is going to be a really good blocker in the run game. In this spot, I'm using Brandon Marshall. Then at our tight end spot, we want speed and a playmaker. I really wanted someone who I know can win those one-on-one matchups on the perimeter when they start to load the box to stop our run. And then run blocking really is just a bonus in this spot. And then I'm using Evan Engram in this position. And then at our RB2, this is a pretty important position. He's going to see the field quite a bit in our 2 running back sets, and if we run the ball a ton, and we are going to have to sub out our RB1 and put this player in. So really we're looking for the same attributes, speed and hand. And at this position, I have Jonathan Taylor. Then at our tight end 2, I was really looking for a reliable blocker. Doesn't have to be an explosive athlete like our tight end 1, but he needs to be able to hold up in the run game and be a reliable pass catcher, and in this spot I have Mark Andrews. Then for our O-line, it's going to be a little bit different of a setup than Chip Kelly had. He really liked fast, smaller offensive linemen, but we are going for big and physical. We want some beef up front, and we really want to prioritize run block. And then I have post up on both of my guards. This is really just going to help us get more push in the run game and make our run game even more explosive. If you guys are playing a CFM, I would try and target similar players in each one of these positions. And then if you guys are playing regs, I would use either the Ravens or the Cardinals. They really have the personnel that is going to fit this offense the best. Now, this is going to give us an incredibly fun and explosive offense, but you are going to need a lockdown defense to pair with it. So if you want to learn my favorite go-to defense in Madden 22, you need to watch this video right here.